against a poker video reviewing some of my play, this time from an 8-game session. This is the first part of something that will continue over a few weeks. Starting off with just a single hand of Pot Limit Omar, which can't really do much with that kind of hand in the big blind. Much of this plays out fairly standard. Here we have the pre-flop raiser leading out. One would assume with some kind of big pair. You'll also have to excuse my my voice. I got a bit of a cold at the moment. But a min raise on this board typically indicates at least a pair of aces, if not something more. So you'd assume that the guy who was the pre-flop raise would have something like kings or queens or something like that. Now we're moving on to triple draw. Again, I start with a wonderful starting hand, which I can't really do much with. Well, apart from folding, that is. But the plan with these series of videos is again to review some of my own play. Most of it will be, I would imagine, at least at this stage, be online play. Although I could see the possibility of a different kind of format in future, maybe looking at some live games I may or may not have played. Here on the button with 4-5-8. Happy to put in a raise and draw 2. We improve by picking up a 7, so we're drawing 1, so we're more than happy to bet. Not only do we have position, but we've also improved our hand, and we're also happy to take it down. Another hand we can't really do too much with. We're probably not going to stay with the 8-3. So we just let the blinds, we're happy to let the blinds fight it out. But as I was saying, this series is mostly going to be online play. More than likely this sort of format, looking at a recording where I might be doing live commentary or commentary after the event, as I am in this case, and looking at, in particular, sort of some of the spots and that with hands that I find myself in these situations. But as I said, further down the track you might get some different alternatives to just online play. Might be looking at hand reviews, that type of thing, possibly even forum posts and things like that from places like Deuces Crack 2+2. But again, we'll see how things go. Again, not much to play with that hand, particularly given that we're in early position. Also, hopefully I'll be able to get over this this cold relatively quickly, so that the audio might be a bit better quality for future episodes. Also, as you might have noticed from the post that I put up actually earlier today about the video schedule, the plan is to have basically one video a day being done, one on weekdays, one extra on weekends, again with the proviso that I don't have any other work on that day. Basically I'm working as a casual teacher at the moment, a casual relief teacher, so if I'm working that day I'm basically not going to have the time or really the motivation to put together a video. But today, one of my days off, probably good given my health at the moment, so yeah, decided to put this video together, and as you probably would have guessed, not only from the blog itself but the actual content that I mentioned there, it's mostly going to be chess and poker. They're my two main interests, at least as far as games are concerned. This one's a bit of an interesting hand. We've got 2-5 in the big blind, So basically, my thinking with this was that I'm happy to call for one raise, see if I improve, and then play it from there. So we get a raise from the button, so we're happy to call one, discard 3. We don't improve, and the button, excuse me, stands pat. So we really can't do much with the hand apart from fold. If we had improved, again, we might be able to continue on with the hand. But given that the button's showing such strength by standing pat, you'd assume that he'd probably have some kind of, let's say, an 8 or something, a mate 8 or something along those lines. Which obviously it can draw 2 to beat, but given that we did actually prove on the first draw, we're not going to go anywhere with it. Now to limit hold'em. Again, something that I tend to do with these mixed game rounds is I tend to be a bit more active in the limit rounds than I am in the no limit and pot limit rounds. Simply because I feel that I'm stronger at the limit games, and also the whole percentage of your stack that you're actually risking is obviously in like a no limit round or a pot limit round, you can lose your whole stack on one hand. Not such a case with the limit round, whether it be hold'em or 08 or the various stud rounds. Queen 6 on the button there might have been an option for a raise, but again I decided to leave it. It's kind of marginal, probably about on the border between raising and folding. Again, given on the button and it's folded to me, I'm not going to be calling on the button, so it's one of those raise or fold situations. Here we actually have an interesting hand that plays out. We have the small blind who's check called 3 streets, and the guy who's been leading the bet, he actually fills up on the river by catching his 2 out, and the other guy had queen. I think I ended up showing it here, but I think he had a queen 10 or something along those lines. So he'd outflopped, queen 10. So he'd outflopped the guy who led with the betting and continued to lead, and got rivered to make the full house and take it down. Here race 4 offsuit, maybe a bit of a loose call in the big blind to an under the gun raiser. The difficulty being that I'm never really clear where I am in the hand unless I flop 2 pair. If I flop an ace, it could be good, it might not be good, and it's really sort of ugly to, it just feels bad to sort of call down and get shown, an ace king or an ace queen. And by the same token, if I do flop a pair of, let's say a pair of 4s, the opponent can keep betting with, a middle pair all the way through, and I'm basically paying them off with, against their pair of 10s, or, something along those lines. Here, 08, we've got a reasonable hand on the button with a couple of limpers in front. Given that they've limped, their hands can't be that strong. So here I'm happy, given the size of the pot, I'm happy to peel one with my second pair, overcard, gut shot, backdoor low, backdoor flush. Bit of everything. The 5, not the greatest card in the world, but it does give me some sort of low draw, as well as the gut shot, as well as the second pair. So we peel one and we hit the magic card on the river. And given this guy's holding, it's actually surprising that he checks through. Obviously I've rivered the nut straight, as I'll show you in a sec. Had flop top set with kings. I think I show it here. He's got king 3-2, so pretty decent hand, and again he's limping from early position with a hand that strong. Okay, he doesn't have an ace, but still a big pair, decent low possibility with a 2-3, and so he's playing it fairly passively pre-flop, then obviously taking a line when he's got the nuts, but then just check calling on the river when there's really only two hands and beat him, and they've got on call for the gut shot or had some kind of wrap. Here with the ace-6, again, early position. Maybe if I was on the button, I might play it differently, but there I can't really see myself playing it. I don't have the suited card. Wasn't the ace. It's the 10-6 suited rather than the ace-6 or ace-10 suited. So again, that takes away some of the value of the hand, and given that my low draw is only an ace-6, again lacks the value in that you need for a low draw. Here we've got a pretty decent starting hand, ace-2 for Jack with the ace-2 suited. Under the gun raises and the small blind calls. Here I'm actually looking to disguise my hand somewhat. Given that it's multi-way, I don't really want to put in the extra bet pre-flop, and especially the way the hand pans out, it's a bit odd. Maybe I could have put in a bet on the turn, but it does get checked through, and now I've sort of got the dodgy ace-4 that might be good, might not be bad for low. So here we have the ace-4 that chops the low, and 2-5 for high, which is really fairly weak holding for an under the gun raise. Here again, if this is a straight PLO hand, Queen Jack 10 double suited, I'm happy to play in PLO. Not so much in 08, especially from the blinds. Turns out to be a pretty decent flop and final board for me, but that's largely irrelevant. It's not the kind of hand that I'm going to be looking to play in that situation. This one is again an 08 hand. Once someone gets involved, this is just to show the previous hand where the guy who lost hand actually went in front to the river where the guy rivered his king. But again, this guy that limps in before, remember in the 08 hand he limped in with the king deuce 3. When he limps here, obviously would have turned out fabulous for me with the bottom set, at least on the flop. Would have of course got ugly on the turn, but that's how 08 is sometimes. But it's not the kind of hand that I want to get involved with. If it had folded to me on the button, I would have been probably more than happy to raise with the suited king and the deuce 5. Obviously the board runs out pretty ugly for that hand, but it's one of those ones where you're sort of not entirely unhappy with it just to get, checked through fairly cheaply. As it is, you can see he's got double suited ace jack 4-8, and yeah, pretty odd looking hand. So his pre-flop range as far as 08's concerned is fairly wide for limp. Now we're moving on to Raz. One of the games that you either love or hate, and you can love it and hate it at the same time, it seems. A lot of these third street decisions seem fairly straightforward, like this one, given that all three cards are below everybody else's door card. So we know we have to, at this stage, have the best hand. So we're happy to, unsurprisingly, we just take it down on third street. Here again, not a lot to see. We might get one more hand in, and that'll wrap up the video for this week. But again, you can see things fairly straightforward for the most part. Here again with the deuce 4-2, all folding, simple steal spot for us, and we can take it down against the king. That's going to wrap up our video for this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed it.